So in the testing I did to see how many runs I could do, I'd come here, I'd buy 2 warp totems, and I'd then walk back and pop it in the bin, which is a lot quicker than 36,000. Sorry, 35,966. So yes, it's possible to do this. It is nowhere near as entertaining as it is actually playing the game. But I'm proving that legitimately, no glitches, no item ID spawning in, no chest duping. It's possible to get 33 million in a single day. Twitch rivals. Whoever gets the most money gets the prize. Who's going to open the casino? So I've got a timer running, but the way I've done it is nowhere near the quickest real time you can get this done. Because I also have the criteria of doing this on summer 3rd. Though my forte is digging into the code and finding things like this. Actually executing and doing this on the fly, others will have me beat for that. But breaking the RNG is awesome. I think so far we've done 20 million. And it's still 9:30 AM. So I might as well start talking about what what I plan to do from next week. Because ideally, I can do streams every Monday night. It's going to be a bit interesting when daylight saving hits, because my available times do change. I do a bit of collaboration with, for work I do a bit of collaborating with people overseas in the Northern Hemisphere, so it's gonna affect meeting times and that. But starting from next week, I am hoping to do a run that will finish the missing bundle summer 4th, year 1. And part of the run also involves completing the community centre summer 2, which is the quickest time, the earliest day to complete the community centre. So I get to complete the community centre on the earliest day I can, and then the missing bundle on the earliest day I can. Missing bundle can't be the 3rd because you don't get the cutscene to open Jojama, because you get the earthquake instead. So that makes summer 4th the earliest. It is so me and Raced. It's gonna take a few weeks to do. So me and Race have been doing a lot of brainstorming to work out how to do it. We both quite like the routing. So I'll give a quick rundown of how it'll go. So firstly, for the community centre summer 2, So there are things that will not spawn in the world, or that you can't grow in the world. So for that you use the cart and you use Crocus. So you've got things like the full crops. So for the full crops, the corn you can grow in summer. The yam you can get from a Dougie in the mines. So we use those. So that leaves the pumpkin and the eggplant. So we buy the pumpkin and the eggplant. For the winter forage, you get a winter root from a frost jelly. You get a crystal fruit from a Dougie. That leaves the crocus and the snow yam from the cart. For the fall forage, you get a wild plum from the farm cave. You get a common mushroom from the secret woods in spring. Failing that, you need to save scum 1 for summer. Summer 1 or summer 2 on the forest farm. That leaves the hazelnut, and the blackberry comes from the farm cave as well, so that leaves the hazelnut from the cart. The walleye you have to get from the cart. The tiger trout you need to get from the cart or from Crocus. And then everything else you can get normally. We use a serpent, the 0.8% chance for the rabbit's foot. Welcome, Purple Lady. Welcome to the most boring Stardew stream that the most boring Stardew gameplay you'll ever see. You've missed me playing Calico Jack to get 1 billion QI coins. It's quite cool. I recommend you catch the VOD after. Okay, I've got a few. I've got quite a while before those expire. So we're in for about 2 hours of lots of clicking. So to fill in the time, I'm talking to you about what I'm hoping to start next week, which is the missing bundle completing Summer 4th. So completing the community centre Summer 2, that leaves a lot of things you can grow in summer. You can't get anything with a quality star on it from the cart. So the quality crops bundle, the one that you need 3 of either 5 gold parsnips, 5 gold melons, 5 gold corn, and 5 gold pumpkins, that has to be grown. So to do that, we use a fairy. This is the last day of this challenge, yes. 33 million by the end of Summer 3, or waking up Summer 4 with 33 million. So I need to do this 47 times. This is my 3rd time through. So we use a fairy to grow some crops on Summer 2. It appears in the morning of Summer 2. So we plant them Summer 1, the fairy comes and makes them all grow up in the morning of Summer 2. We plant them we plant the crops in specific locations so that the crops that need to be gold are gold. And we till the dirt in a specific order in order to manipulate where the fairy will target. We do need to remove all trees, including seeds in the ground. You need to remove all grass, and you need to make sure you've got no flooring in order for the fairy run to work. So we manipulate where it's going to hit, and then it can grow up a maximum of 25 crops. So we grow up 5 gold melons, 5 gold corn, a melon of any quality, a corn of any quality. We'll be buying 5 wheat from the cart, so we need to grow another 5 regular wheat. They have to be regular. Then blueberry, tomato, hot pepper, poppy, sunflower. All those things grown up the fairy on summer 2. Oh, and a red cabbage. The red cabbage, that one is going to be a pain. That's going to be an absolute pain to get. So if you watch the Haboo, you may have seen him attempt to do the Community Centre Summer 2. He failed because a grape didn't spawn in the map. That's my bad. I thought a grape could get from the cave, and also I thought that the forage farm would be used, because you can get a grape from the forage farm. He didn't use the forage farm, he used the mountain pub. So on that save that he had, he got a red cabbage from the cart. Now because we're doing the missing bundle in Summer 4, there was some extra criteria for stuff that we needed from the cart. With the extra criteria, we couldn't find a seed that also had a red cabbage or red cabbage seeds in the cart. So normally you can buy red cabbage seeds summer year 2, but we're not going to year 2. There is one other way to get red cabbage seeds in year 1. That is treasure floors in the skull caverns. In order that the odds of getting red cabbage seeds in the skull caverns, 1 out of 648. So you need to get a level in the caverns, then you need to hit a 1 out of 648. That is a huge yikes. So what we're going to do for that is just have stacks of ladders. Have like a stack of 200 ladders. Or Purple Lady, you should tell them to go get one from the Skull Caverns. So I'm going to have stacks of ladders. I'm going to use magic rock candy because a luck buff helps with getting the treasure floors. I'm going to make sure I've got maximum daily luck. I can manipulate steps in order to make sure I get my max daily luck. And then I'm just going to make sure I've got nothing else to do on the day. I'm going to make sure that my inventory is set up. I'm going to walk to the desert, going to go into the caverns. I'm just going to ladder. Opening up the chests in the treasure floors. And then I hope that eventually I get that 1 out of 648. So that is everything for the Community Centre Summer 2. Then that brings us to the Missing Bundle Summer 4th. So for the Missing Bundle Summer 4th, there are 6 possible items and you need 5 of them. So the 6 possible items is a prismatic shard, caviar, 5 golden ancient fruit, the golden void salmon, dino mayonnaise, and silver quality wine. So let's start with the silver quality wine. To get the silver quality wine, you need to upgrade your house to max. Alright, cooking stopped. Let's go dump these at home. Actual variation of what's going on the screen. Doesn't help if I don't click on that bin quickly. Plenty of time left on those. And we're back. So where was I? You need to upgrade your house to max. So to do that, each house upgrade takes 3 days. So 3 days to get the first upgrade, which you need anyway for the community centre. You need the fried egg and the maki roll. Then you need 150 hardwood and what is it, 100,000 G? 50,000 G? I can't remember. Get the nursery, and then it's a straight 150,000 to get the cellar. So you need to get the cellar, you need to get wine, and you need to get the wine in the cellar by the 18th. By the 18th of spring. So that is 9 days worth of upgrades. That's a fruit and a keg by the 11th. So you need to get a keg, so either to complete the artisan bundle for the keg reward, or you need farming level 8 to craft one, plus an oak resin to get the wine, to get it into the cask to make sure it's silver in time. Or you find the wine from the cart and you don't need the keg that early anyway. Hey, we no longer have a billion QI points. And along with that, you need a lot of other animal houses. So you don't need a deluxe coop because you can get the rabbit's foot from the caverns. So you need a big coop, but you need a deluxe barn to get the truffle. So that is a lot of upgrades. And because the pig takes so long to grow up to get the truffle, the deluxe barn needs to be finished early too. So if you are going for silver quality wine, you need to start a barn upgrade on spring 1. You need 6,000 G and all the wood and stone for a barn upgrade on spring 1. It's not going to happen. You might be able to find a truffle at the cart, which gives you another 3-day leeway, but you've still got the issue of getting the wine in your hand in the first place. So wine, unless there's other factors in there that allow it, that give you enough leeway, you are never going to get the silver wine in time for summer 4, as well as doing everything else that you need to do. So the item that you don't hand in is the silver wine. So that leaves a prismatic shard. That's easy, you get that from the Skull Caverns. That leaves dino mayonnaise, also easy, you get a pepper Rex for the Skull Caverns, throw it in a player machine. That gives you the void salmon. You can unlock the Witch's Swamp summer 3rd. The community centre finishes summer 2. Summer 3rd, you watch the cutscene, and then you go activate the Wizard's Quest. You will need access to the sewer. But we need access to the sewer anyway because we buy a target trout off of Crocus. And then you just fish it up. You get the golden void salmon down there. So that's possible. Then you've got caviar. Now, caviar was an interesting one. When Race and I were first looking at this, we started looking at this months ago, and then we sort of left it on the back burner. Now at that time, we thought that it took 4,000 minutes to convert sturgeon roe into caviar. That was incorrect. That must have been a hangover from preserve jars. It took 6,000 minutes to convert sturgeon roe into caviar. Sturgeon not being fishable in spring. So if you get a sturgeon on spring one, on summer one, throw it into a fish pond, a strategically placed fish pond. What you get out of the fish pond is affected by its location, so you can, if you know your seed and you know the location, you can nip it to get what you need out of it. So you can get your sturgeon roe out of it. If you place it in a preserve jars immediately at 6 AM, it takes 6,000 minutes. One day has 1,600 minutes in it. The next day is 14 minutes in it, but the hours from 2 to 6 AM is counted as 100 minute hours. So you've got 1,600 minutes in the day. So that is 3 days, 1,200 minutes. 3 days, 20 hours. So if you put it in at 6 AM, 3 days later it is ready at 2 AM. You can't do anything with it. So effectively it takes 4 days. So if you're making caviar out of sturgeon roe that's caught on summer 1, that's going to be ready by summer 6. That's too late, we want summer 4. So you either need to get a sturgeon from the cart or from Crovis, or you buy, or you find a seed that's got straight up caviar in the cart. The seed that we've got has straight up caviar in the cart. So caviar is easy. What else is here? We've got action happening. Let's go. I wonder if we're going to get through the entire soundtrack today. Alright, where were we before we were rudely interrupted by having to go dump those in the, in the bin? So what's left? So we're getting the void salmon, we're getting the prismatic, we're getting the dino mayo, we're getting the caviar, so that leaves ancient fruit. Ancient fruit, gold ancient fruit. Can you get gold ancient fruit by summer 4th? Can you get the seeds for it? So this is the one that went through a lot of iterations to work out how to do it. So there are a few ways you can get an ancient seed. 1, you get it out of an artifact spot. 2, you fish it up. 3, you get it from flies, grubs, or bugs from the mines. So that's all for the ancient seed artifact. We need 5 of them. We need 5 golden ancient fruit. So if we relied on those methods, then you would need to, a combination of all those, you need 5. Another way of getting ancient seeds is to get yourself a seed maker and manip it. Anything that's put in the seed maker has about a 0.5% chance of becoming an ancient seed. But you can manip that based on the day, the location that you put it, and the time that you load it. You can manip what you get out of it. So if you get your hands on a seed maker, getting 5 ancient seeds is trivial. So then how do you get the seed maker early enough? So growth times. An ancient seed takes 28 days to grow. An ancient seed takes 28 files. Yes, a lot of work finding the right file. Not using the predictor because using the predictor is quite manual and too slow. Instead, we had some scripts that ran over all the possible seeds, querying each for a bunch of criteria. So we've got a seed to use. That's how I know that I get a caviar from the cart. Also, you get a truffle from the cart, which relieves the building pressure a bit. Anyway, building times. An ancient seed takes 28 days to grow. So if you put it down on the 1st of spring, it'll grow on the 1st of summer. Predictor is useful for working out where to plant things to make sure that they're golden. So without any speed grow, without agriculturalist, you'd need to have the ancient seeds in the ground on the 4th. The mines aren't open by then. You might be able to fish 5 up, good luck with that. Or artifact spots. If you have a 10% growth, so either speed grow or just agriculturalist, I believe it's the 7th they've got to be down on. If you have deluxe speed grow, they've got to be down on the 10th. If you have deluxe speed grow and agriculturalist, they've got to be down on the 13th. So you need a combination of the seeds and potentially a way of speeding them up. So to get a seed maker, one option is to complete the, what is it? Is it the dye bundle? I believe that gives you a seed maker. The dye bundle has the red cabbage. That's not completed for summer 2. That's too late. Another option is getting to Skull Cabins and forcing one off a treasure floor. It's possible. You'd need to get the bus opened by the tricky thing for that comes with the speed grow. Because with speed growing it down 10, you can buy deluxe speed grow on the 11th, but too late. So if you're doing that, you need to make speed grow. You'd need the farming level for it. Farming level 8, I believe. I'm not sure exactly. But you need a lot of farming level for it. If you're making the speed grow, you also need oak resin. Oak resin? Oak resin, yes. So you need the money for the crops. You also need to open the bus in order to force a seed maker. But if you're going for farm levels, you can craft your own seed maker. Okay, so forget about the money you need for the bus, you need money for crops. If you're going for crops, you either aim for the 10th to put it down, level 9 by the 10th, or level 10 by the 13th. That's a lot of money, that's a lot of watering. It may be possible to do. When we were first looking at this, geostrats hadn't been found or hadn't been abused. So geodes give the possibility of a lot of money. So lots of money for crops, put them down, put kale down like on the 6th. So you've got 5 and you've got the 5th to dump geodes, you've got the 6th to find geodes, open them at Clint's, sell the minerals to get your crops, put them down, lots and lots and lots of money watering. It might be possible. I have a feeling it is possible, hard, but possible. There is one other source of ancient seeds that I haven't mentioned. That is artifact tropes. There is one interaction of speed grow and crops they haven't mentioned. And that is that you can apply speed grow to a plant at any stage of development. Excuse me while I interrupt this clickfest. Got a few cycles before I need to worry about my speed buffs. So a speed grow can be applied at any time of a crop's development. If you don't do it on day 1, you will lose some days that you would otherwise gain back. So if you're putting deluxe speed grow down on ancient fruit, if you planted the ancient fruit on the 10th and applied the deluxe speed grow right away, that would be ready in time. If you place it on either days 2 to 5, I think it says 2 to 5 of its development, you will lose 1 discount day. So if you put the ancient fruit in the ground on the 9th, you have the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, maybe the 14th. I'm not exactly sure where the cutoff is. You've got those times to actually apply the speed grow to it. So if you get the ancient fruit in the ground on the 9th, and you get the bus available, you can buy the deluxe speed grow and you can get it down. So you don't need farming levels, you just need money to get to the bus on the 11th. Artifact troves. Opening up geodes and artifact troves is predictable. You can go to Mousy Pound's Predictor and you can look up to see what you're going to get. And you can get agencies out of an artifact trove. So you trade in 5 Omni Geos for 1 artifact trove. We need 5 of them, we need 25 Omnis. Plus whatever else we want to do. So you don't need money for crops, you just need money for the bus. You need money in geodes, you need money for the bus by the 8th, and you need Omni Geodes for artifact troves, and enough other geodes to fill in the gaps around the agencies by the 9th. With geode strats, with abusing where the geodes are, that becomes possible. The seed that we have has 2 geodes, 2 regular geodes, right beside the elevator on floor 35. If you are a viewer of Cord, you can see that you might recall how he spent 6 hours on one day farming geodes right beside the elevator on floor 35. This seed has geodes that you can use the toxic elevator strats for. Yay! So all that put together means it is possible to grow ancient seeds by summer 4th, year 1. You strategically place them so that when you harvest them on summer 4th, they'll be gold quality. Now the strategy that Cord was using to get them involves spending as little time unpause as possible. So you'd go to floor 35, hit pause, the position is cursed to where the elevator was, hit unpause and immediately click the elevator. The elevator menu would come up, the game would still be paused, and from there you could see if rocks spawned in the correct place. I don't want to spend 6 hours on a day. I've got an extra day to do the geode farming. I don't want to spend 6 hours on 6 hours each over 2 days. So I'm going to opt for a less efficient way of getting it. Still get me a lot of geodes. I'm going to opt for a less efficient way of doing it for my own sanity. Because I only really get a couple of hours max that I can do for these runs. And this is taking ages anyway. Like I've been live for over an hour now. So all that put together means that you can get the missing bundle done summer 4th. It's going to be difficult. You get a lot of the artisan bundle. Oh no, I think it's the photo bundle. Requires 3 apples. Apples grow in fall. We're not playing to fall. We need to get 3 apples out of the farm cave. So there's going to be a few times where we reverse a day, take a different number of steps, sleep, go to the cave, and see if we've got an apple. I'm going to go for level 5. We're going to go for level 5 foraging, do the gatherer, so you have a chance of getting 2. So 1 apple becomes 2. So then instead of needing 3 apples to spawn on the ground, you only need 2 to spawn on the ground. And you also need some tree fruit for the artisan bundle. So it's going to be a very precise run. So there are a lot of things in the game are determined by a RNG object, an RNG function, that at the beginning of the day is initialized based on the number of steps that you take. The first few things that this RNG determines is the dish of the day, is whether you get a gift in the mail from a friend. It determines your daily luck and the weather. So those are the first things it calculates. So because it's one of the first things it calculates, you can actually predict what you're going to get based on the number of steps that you've taken. So at the beginning of the stream, I actually did a minute before that in order to get spicy eel in the saloon. Alright, we interrupt this clicking to bring you a warp. We've got 41 more lots of this. My cat's on the chair next to me snoring. Don't know if you can hear it. Okay, where was I? Minute more steps. Yeah, so at the beginning of the stream, I did a minute in order to get spicy eel, so this is the dish of the day to give me the extra speed for this. So this RNG object is used throughout the day for a few things. One of the things that it does, that it's used for, is updating each area, so determining if a tree grows, determining if a growing tree will put a seed in the ground, determining if weeds will spread. It's not used for determining forage. That one is a different random based on your game seed. So forages can be predicted based on your day and your seed. And it's this game-wide random that is used for determining what fruits you get in the fruit cave. Now the things that are done early, you can minute, because you know how many times this is used. You know how many times random is used for doing the dish of the day. You know how many times it's used for giving you luck, for getting the weather, for getting mail gifts. And the first thing that happens after the weather is then it starts updating each location, starting with your farmhouse, then your farm, then the farm cave. We don't know how many times it's been called on the farm. I'll stop snoring now. We may be able to work out how many times it's done in the, how many times it's used on the farm. Work out how many trees we got, with a range of other things. It may be possible for that. I haven't yet fully explored that. But currently, we do not know where this RNG object is going to be when it gets to spawning fruit. So what we can do is we can go back to the previous day, we can take a different number of steps to get a different set of RNG checks. Just brute force our way through the cave. There's a few days where things where things happen normally. Hopefully over one of those days we get what we need out of the cave. Otherwise there's a few days reserved that you do nothing else, like you might go water the ancient seeds, and you might go pet the animals. But you do nothing else but do that, take a variable number of steps, go to sleep. Hopefully you get what you need. It's going to take a while to complete, since I'm only streaming once a week. $931 million QI coins left. So who wants to do the math to see how much money I get each inventory fill? So the warp totems are 20G each. I've got 36 slots. I have 35 slots of 999 and 1 slot of 998. I'm literally clicking for money. I think that's all there is to say about the Missing Bundle run. There's still details to work out about what we're doing each day. It's going to be interesting to see if 1.5 brings any new ways of getting these items. Maybe a different way of getting a duck feather and duck eggs. Based on that screenshot that Consumed Ape sent out over Twitter. I put it in the wrong spot, I know. So each stack of these is, what is it, 1980G. And I use up 20G getting back to the farm. There is another theoretical way that nets you even more money in one day. That is upgrading your trash can. An upgraded trash can gives you so much money back from whatever you trash. So if you get yourself up to the iridium trash can, I don't know how much money that gets back, I'd guess 25%. If you get yourself the iridium trash can, and then do the strategy. Instead of warping back to the farm, and then having to walk back to the casino, You would get out of this menu, you would bring up your inventory, you would trash everything in your inventory, and then you do it again. Hardly any time would pass in the game. I don't know. And the casino the Oasis closes at 11:50, 10:50. It closes. If you stayed in the casino, that was bad. Hopefully that doesn't cut off one of my excursions. Oh, come on. So you fill up your inventory, you trash everything. When you run out of coins, you run back down to the table. You play until you've got billions of coins again, and you do it again, and you can do it all the way to 20. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. That requires a macro. Wonder if I get through all cycles of this, or whether I just give up. Yeah, so yes, it's feasible. I do not want to be the person who does it. Even this is crazy enough. Originally I was going for 25 million Summer 3, until I remembered you can build a shipping bin. So I built a shipping bin beside the warp location. That increased it from, let's say, increase it from, did I say 27 times? Increase it to 47 times. So just that change is pretty much doubled, just under doubled the time this would take me. I'm not doing this just to trash. How many cycles of these do you think you'd get in a tick? 20? $120 times doing this an hour, 2,400 times over a day, assuming that 20 a second is accurate. Could be more. That would be a stream that you write a macro for, you set up, you let it go. One of the good things about this is that you don't actually need concentration. Just mindlessly click. In 1 hour and 15 minutes, a lot of the social restrictions in New Zealand, at least outside of Auckland, will be lifted. So currently businesses can open, but they require that social distance measures are in place and contact tracing efforts are made in case there's an outbreak of the coronavirus. That's our level 2. In level 1, the social distancing requirements dropped. That happens everywhere in New Zealand outside of Auckland in 1 hour and 14 minutes. It's a massive challenge that every country is having to face. Yeah, so a few weeks ago there was, you can call it a wave 2 in New Zealand, which caused about 90 new cases. 90. And then big efforts were made to immediately stamp it out. So glad that we're not facing a lot of the issues that the rest of the world are. Realise how fortunate we are here. I need to put a timer up for how long it takes me to do each stack. See what my average is, see what my best is. See if it goes down as the night goes on. I should have taken note to how far through the stream I was when I started doing this. It's one of the places in the world that seem to have a big sense of community. It seems to be that people are more willing to do things or put up with inconveniences for the sake of the country. That seems to be lacking in a lot of different parts of the world. There will be people like that all over the world. It's just whether it's part of the culture or not. By far, most of the time I spent in this menu. Weird time is paused, but it's not even at 12 AM. Yikes, this is going to take ages. I'm probably going to call this at midnight. We call to completely finish it, but I might have to call it early. Too bad I can't save state during the day. I'll just leave my computer on this for a week, shall I? See how far I get, and then the beginning of next week, pull it up in Smithy. cheating the what I sold, cheating the money. Set the time and go. This is definitely the last day I'm doing this. If the missing bundle run isn't ready next week, I'll be doing seeded runs, probably improving my time on seeded marriage. One thing I do need to do is to put some voting options in the Stardew Valley speedrunning Discord. They wanted to do a shake-up of the categories. It's been on my to-do list for ages. Just haven't had the motivation to sit down and write down the options. I can imagine how frustrating it is when people don't want to do something that's slightly inconvenient for them for the greater good, just because it's slightly inconvenient for them. See the clips all over the internet. They're the true flying group. I'm in the casino. Is it gambling if you know that you're going to win? $895 million. I need a macro for this. I would actually be willing to macro this. I wonder how far through this playlist I am. And we need to extrapolate how long, when I'll finish this. Welcome, Awkward Squirrel. Welcome to one of the most boring Stardew Valley gameplays you will see in a while. For most of the stream, we're sitting in this menu, click, 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 clicking. I do recommend going back to the beginning of this VOD and watching it, because you see the setup for the casino, and you see how I can break Calico Jack to give me my QI coins. You know, there's a lot less going on here than geode elevators. Hey, I'm sleepy too. You also missed the big conversation that we had about the route for Missing Bundle Summer 4. The next thing I'm going to do after this. Probably take a couple of months to complete. Missing bundle summer 4th. It gives me something to talk about. I'll talk about it again. So it starts by doing the community centre summer 2. So the earliest that you can do the community centre is summer 2. Now the reason why that works, there's a few things, but we're going to interrupt this conversation by actual different gameplay. Feeding it more time still. About a quarter of the way through. I'm less than a quarter of the way through. Year 1, yes, year 1. Missing bundle, summer 4th, year 1. So there's a few things that you need a special seed for it. There's about 3 total seeds out of all 4 billion seeds that enable it. So you need to do the community centre summer 2. The earliest you can get the Joja Mart, abandoned Joja Mart open is summer 4. Summer 3 is the earthquake, you can't get the cutscene. Summer 4th, you can get the cutscene. So since you never see fall and you never see winter, you need other ways of getting those season locked items. So for fall forage, the plum and blackberry can be gotten from the Batcave. The common mushroom can be gotten from either summer with the forage farm or spring in the secret woods. For fall crops, the corn, you can get that in summer. Corn grows in summer. The yam you can get from a Dougie in the mines. Dougies drop yams. The pumpkin and the eggplant you need to buy from the cart. Winter forage. The winter root you get from a frost jelly. The crystal fruit you get from a dust sprite. The crocus and the snow yam are purchased from the cart. Also from the cart, you need to get a walleye. No, corn's done in one day. The walleye you get from the cart, the tiger trout you get from Krobus. I think that's it for what you have to buy from the cart. Apples you get from the cave. Everything else can be fished or grown. The save file, the seed, requires a fairy in the morning of summer 2. The fairy can grow 25 crops. So the fairy will grow 5 golden melons, 5 golden corn, a regular melon, a regular corn, a blueberry, a tomato, a hot pepper. It's going to grow 5 wheat, 5 wheat's purchased from the cart. It will grow 5 regular wheat, it will grow a poppy and a sunflower. And a red cabbage. You can manipulate where the fairy hits to make sure that you get all 25. I've actually got a clip on this channel as a proof of concept for manipulating a fairy and growing what you need. when I've got plenty of time to think about things, I can come up with good stuff. So the route for Missing Bundle Summer 4 is the brainchild of a collaboration between myself and he's not a streamer, but he's an avid watcher called Race218, I think is the full name. You see him in Discord, you see him in Habu's channel. He's the one who trolled Habu with talking to the Emir on summer 14th, where the Emir talks about growing blueberries. We both seem to quite like brainstorming and routing. So I do a lot of the technical searches, the code digging to see what's possible, what's manipulable. Oops. And he does a lot of the hard yards and like finding out what order to open geos to get enough to access the sewer. Raced is the only person I know of who's actually finished the Community Centre Summer 2. He says he's done it twice, but he doesn't stream. So for the Missing Bundle Summer 4th, so we need to force apples in the cave, 3 of them. You need to get animals. We get the rabbit's foot from a serpent in the mines. It saves us some time. Now, for the Missing Bundle itself, that requires 5 out of 6 items. It requires a prismatic shard. It requires caviar, dino mayo, 5 gold agent fruit, a golden void salmon, or silver wine. So one of those items can be skipped. So looking at the silver wine first, you need 3 lots of house upgrades. You need to upgrade to the kitchen, you need to upgrade to the nursery, and then upgrade to the cellar. It's 9 days building and a lot of money. You need to have the cellar complete by the 18th. In order to have the wine upgraded to silver in time. Now, excuse me while I interrupt this gameplay. $868780. Oops, missed. Yeah, we've just gone into the afternoon. Alright, where was I? So you have to have the wine in hand by spring 18th and put it into an accessible cellar on the 18th. Which means you've got to put the wine in, you've got to put a fruit in a keg on the 11th. So you need a keg by the 11th. So you either complete the artisan, good luck with that, or you get yourself to farm level 8 to craft one, along with a oak resin, which you got from a tapper from forage level 3. Along with that, you also need a lot of other, you need the barn up reasonably early, get the pig fully grown. Long story short, it's too tight and needs too much money to do the cellar. So the silver wine is the thing that you skip, which means that you need all 5 other things. So prismatic shard's easy, it's from the cabins. Dono mayonnaise is easy. Pepper bricks from the cabins. Get the dono egg, throw it in the mayo machine. Done. Void salmon. Void salmon comes accessible after you complete the community centre and you complete the wizard quest. So you need access to the sewer. We need the sewer anyway because we get a tiger trout from Crovis. So we get the void salmon on the 3rd. So that's doable. Caviar. That's an interesting one. You can't catch a sturgeon in spring, but you can catch it in summer. So you can catch a sturgeon summer 1. Put into a fish pond. Location of fish pond affects the spawns that you get. So you can place it in a strategic location, make sure that you get sturgeon roe morning of summer 2. In order to create caviar out of sturgeon roe, it takes 6,000 minutes. 1 day in Stardew Valley is 1,600 minutes. The day actually is 14 minutes, but the time between 2 AM and 6 AM is counted as 100 minute hours. So 1,600 minutes of 4 days, 16 to 16, 1,600 minutes. So that is 3 days and 1,200 minutes. 1,200 minutes is 20 hours. So if you put sturgeon roe in a preserve jar at 6 AM, it is ready 3 days later at 2 AM. You're not going to grab it. You pass out. So effectively 4 days. So you can put it in on the 2nd, it's ready by the 6th, that's 2 days later. So we need to get a sturgeon in spring, or we need to get caviar another way. In the save file, in the seed that we've got, you can buy a caviar from the cart. So that solves caviar, you just buy it. That leaves ancient fruit. 5 golden ancient fruit by summer 4th. There are a few ways to get ancient fruit. But another problem is the length it takes to grow. So it takes 28 days to grow normally. It takes 22 days. 25 days with a 10% with normal speed grow. It takes 22 days. Yeah, it takes 22 days with deluxe speed grow, and it takes 19 days with deluxe speed grow and agriculturalist. So you need a way of planting it, and you need a way of making sure it's going to grow in time. So a few ways you can get ancient seeds. 1. Artifact spot. 2. Fish it up. 3. Kill grubs, bugs and flies in the mines for a 0.5% drop chance for each of those ones. You need 5 of them. Another way is a seed maker. You can manipulate where you put the seed maker, the location, the day, the time that you put it in. You have that's probably also a 0.5% chance of getting an ancient seed out. So anything you put in can produce an ancient seed. So you get yourself a seed maker. You can get a seed maker from the dye bundle. That requires red cabbage you don't get till summer 2. Too late. You get the skull caverns, you could force one out of a treasure floor. You need the bus early. You need to be able to get to treasure floors. You need a decent way of getting through floors in there. You need time to manip it 5 times. If you're at the desert, you can buy deluxe speed grow on Thursdays. But if you're just using deluxe speed grow, it's got to be down on the 10th, one day too late. So you get farming levels. You get farming levels to get a seed maker, and you can craft your own speed grow. So for that you need a oak resin, I believe. So you need a forage 3 to get a tapper. get that early. So you need forage 3 on the 3rd in order to have the recipe on the 4th. You have enough crops to give your level 10, give your agriculturalist. You need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money for crops. You need lots of time and energy to water the crops, or lots of rain. It may be possible, depending on what geode locations you get, it may be possible. But there is one other source that I haven't mentioned, and there's an interaction of Speedgrow that I also haven't mentioned. It's one of the things that Grace and I realised that you could do to actually make it feasible. You can apply Speedgrow at any time during a plant growing. Hold up. Got to interrupt this conversation. Best song in the game. I love how it ends. Don't love it when it ends, but I love how it ends. Okay, where was I? You can apply Speedgrow at any time during a plant grow. So if you place it on day 1, either before or after you plant the seed, you get the full benefit out of it. If you plant it later, you lose some of the days you would otherwise have discounted. So for ancient fruit, without agriculturalists, you're just putting direct Speedgrow down. So if you apply it from days 2 through 5, I believe it is, you lose 1 discount day. So planting on the 10th with Deluxe Speedgrow on that day, we'll have it ready summer 4th. We can plant the ancient fruit on the 9th and then apply Deluxe Speedgrow later. If we get to the desert, don't worry if you fall asleep, you can always catch up on the VODs. This is the second time I've explained it on the spot, so you're sure to find it. So you can put the ancient fruit down on the 9th. You can buy the Deluxe Speedgrow if you have the desert available on the 11th. Apply it on the 11th, 12th, even the 13th, I believe. And it'll be ready in time. So the other way that you can get ancient seeds is through treasure troves. If you get yourself to the desert with enough omnis for the treasure troves, you can predict where the ancient seeds will be with Mousy Crown's predictor. So you also need enough geodes to fill in the gaps. You have the desert, you can buy the Deluxe Speedgrow on Thursday. So you need to be finishing the vault on the 8th, plus unlocks on the 9th. You go get your troves, go immediately open them, donate them, plant them immediately. Ancients down on the 9th, back to the desert on the 11th, buy the Deluxe Speedgrow, apply it. The ancient fruit will grow on summer 4th, and you have placed them in strategic spots that when you harvest them on the 4th, they will be gold. That's how you do the ancient fruit. Finish the bus on the 8th. Now, how do you get the money for that? Cord managed to finish the vault on the 7th, but that was because he had geode spots right in front of the elevator. The seed that we're using is geode spots right in front of the elevator. We can do toxic elevators to get the money we need for the desert. Yay. I'm not going to be as precise as Cord was. I'm not going to be paused anywhere near as long. because I don't want to take 6 hours to do one day. So I'm hoping to start this run next Monday. We haven't fully fleshed out the route, but we've probably fleshed out the first few days enough that I can at least get it started. So that's the plan for the missing bundle. I completely failed on my math earlier. Yes, brain totems from the cabins. You also need rain on summer 2nd for the red snap. So we need two rain totems. I calculated about 6 minutes per buy. And with at least 40 rounds of buying, calculate that's 240 minutes. So it's just over a couple of hours, isn't it? Try 4 hours. This is a run to be macroed. This is a run to be tazzed. You give it the instructions and just repeat. Once you get one done, you just repeat in the same movement until the end of the day. Should be easy enough to test. For the missing bundle, it's probably going to take me at least 2 months to do because I stream once a week. At least I'll try to stream once a week, with about 2 hours each stream. Hopefully I can limit resets. There are things I need to do each day, but I probably don't need to play each day to the complete full. Oh, I haven't mentioned them. I have yet to mention the worst thing about the run. So you may have been aware of when Habu tried to do the challenge, tried to complete Community Centre Summer 2. Okay, I've got time. And he was able to buy a red cabbage, a fully grown red cabbage from the cart. Because of some extra restrictions that we have for the missing bundle, like the sturgeon, there is no red cabbage in the cart. Instead, we're going to try to grow one in summer. But you can only buy red cabbage seeds from here summer 2, so it's summer year 2. What other source of red cabbage seeds are there in the game? Do you know? Night market? We're not playing to winter. I'm sure you know the answer. A 1 out of 648 chance from a treasure floor. Throughout spring, we're going to be getting a lot of money. We're going to buy a lot of stone. We're going to have a lot of ladders. We're going to manipulate steps for maximum luck. We're going to go with a magic rock candy. We're going to do our best to mitigate it, but we need a red cabbage seed from the cabins. Who would do a run like that? Oh, I can't believe I misdid the math earlier. When it comes to 12, I'm just going to sleep with what I got. Click City. I should have this hooked up to the click farm as well. I hope I can turn my brain off and go to bed tonight. So springfish, easy enough. There's fish you need to get in summer. You need to get the tuna. You need to get the red snapper. I think you need to get the sardine. You need to get the sturgeon. You can't get the walleye, you got to get it from the cart. You can't get the tiger trout, you got to get it from the cart. Everything else you can get in spring. Run's going to start out like a regular challenge run. You need a lot of money early, so we're going to do lots of fishing. I'm falling asleep here. I'm glad I've had the missing bundle run to talk about. And definitely go back and watch the Calico Jack part of this. I gave lots of disclaimers that once we get to this, it's going to be the most boring strategy gameplay that you've seen for a while. It's a good one to watch live when you're interacting, or it's a good one to just skip to the end. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. But the missing bundle run should be a lot more entertaining. What I'm doing right now, I'm converting 800 million QI coins into, well, originally I was converting 1.04 billion QI coins into 33 million G. I broke the RNG in the Calico Jack, get the billion QI coins. I'm surprised that they've got a billion coins in the back room. And then these warp totems are the best way of converting QI coins into G. The best way of buying them is holding shift, right click and spamming left click. At this point I should, what I need to do at this point, or even to do the whole thing, is you do it in BlueStacks. You do it in an Android emulation. Play on the Android version, because the Android version has a slider. You click what you want to buy, you have a slider, you push it all the way to 999, you click buy. You do that 36 times. Welcome, Wallach. Welcome to the stream where the streamer falls asleep. I've got another 34 minutes of this and then I'm calling it. I misdid my math earlier as to how long this would take. I calculated just over 2 hours. It's going to take over 4, maybe 5. I'm not doing a 5-hour stream. This is almost 11:30 at the moment. So I'm going to go another 34 minutes. Casino strat, yes. 6 minutes per full buy. 47 full buys. About 280 minutes. I did not divide by 60 properly. 4.5 hours. Go through the missing bundle speech again. Okay. So this is the last day I'm doing a casino strat. It's more of a proof of concept. Hopefully from next week I am going to start a run where I complete the missing bundle by summer 4 year 1. The community centre is going to be finished by summer 2 year 1. Summer 4 is the earliest that the abandoned Jojo Mart can be opened. Summer 2 is the earliest that the community centre can be completed. The abandoned Jojo Mart cannot open on 3, but can be opened on 4. We have a seed. Whether it's good is debatable. So you need the cart for the pumpkin, for the eggplant, for the hazelnut, for the snow yam, for the crocus, for walleye. We need it for 4 summer crops, freeing up the rest for the fairy. I think that's all that's required. You need the apples and others and stuff from the cave. You need to kill a serpent for a rabbit's foot. Kill Dougie for the yam. Build the buildings and the like. So in order to enable the missing bundle, So as you're probably aware, there are 6 items that you can do. You only need 5 out of the 6. So it's the Dino Mayonnaise, Prismatic Shard, Golden Void, Golden Ancient Fruit, Silver Wine. So we only need 5 out of those 6, or 1 of the items can be dropped. So let's look at wine. To get silver wine, you need 14 days in a cask. To get a cask, you need the farm upgrade all the way to the end. 9 days of building at Robin, about 250,000 G, 150 hardwood. 14 days for the cask, so you need the house completed by spring 18th. You also need the wine, so you need the keg down spring 11th. For the keg, you need the oak resin, so you need summer 3 for a tapper. You need that spring 4. Possible. Also, in order to enable the community center to be finished, you need music. You need, how long is this? I've gone for 2 hours. I can look at mine. How long is it live? Where was I? You need other buildings. You need quite a few days for the pig to mature to give you a truffle, so you need a deluxe barn up early. In order to have silver wine and a pig for a truffle, you need to start the first stage of the barn. I think it was the spring 1. The very first day of the game, you need 6,000 gold and all the wood and stone to build the barn. That's not happening. So unless you find other ways of relieving the build schedule, you are not getting silver wine. So we looked at other options, but silver wine has been ruled out. So that leaves the other 5 items. Prismatic shards, easy. Go from the cave. Dino mayonnaise, easy. 1 of your corrects. Kill it till you get a dino egg. Throw in the machine. Void salmon, that's accessible after you complete the community centre and you got access to the sewers. Just get ketchup. Caviar. Sturgeon roe takes 6,000 minutes in the preserve jar. You can catch a sturgeon summer 1. You can stick it in a fish pond the same day. You can manip the fish pond by the location that you put it to get the sturgeon roe. So, morning of summer 2, you had sturgeon roe. 6 AM, second preserve jar. 6,000 minutes. One day in game is 1,600 minutes. Normally a day is 14 minutes, but the time between 2 and 6 AM are 100 minute hours. So 1,600 minute days. 6,000 minutes is 3 days and 1,200 minutes. 1,200 minutes is 20 hours. So if you put it in the preserve jar, 6 AM is ready 3 days later at 2 AM. You're never getting it out and you're never getting it to where it needs to go. So effectively 4 days. If you put it in summer 2, it's ready summer 6, it's too late. So you need to get the sturgeon earlier, maybe from the cart, or another way to get the caviar. And the seed that we got, you can straight up buy the caviar. So that sorts out that one. Okay, I'm going to have to drink coffee for the next one. It shows them a third of the way in. For about an hour and a half into the strat, and then a third of the way in. That's caveat sorted. Well, I've yet to get to the west part. Ancient seeds. Ancient seeds aren't the west one, but ancient seeds. 5 golden ones. Some are 4. First, let's go over the growth schedule. 28 days to grow. Without any speed increase, you need it in the ground spring 4th. With growth increases, a 10% growth increase, you've got to get it in the ground spring 7th. The 25% growth increase needed in the ground spring 10th. 35% need it in the ground spring 13th. So you need a combination of growth increases, or speed increases, and the seeds themselves. Way to get the seeds: artifact slots, fishing, killing bugs, grubs, and flies in the mines. All quite low odds, you need 5 of them. More consistent way, seed maker. You can manip it based on where you put it, the day, and the time that it goes in. How do you get a seed maker? Dye bundle. The red cabbage ready summer 2, you're never going to complete it. Farming 8, farming 9, isn't it? Okay, you need lots of money. First we'll look at the skull cabins, so you can get one of the treasure for. You need the bus. Force it there. With the bus you get the Black Speed Grow. Black Speed Grow you get on the 11th, just with the 25% need it in on the 10th. So you need level 10 farming to get Agriculturalist, so that you can have it on the 13th. Okay, so we've got to the 13th to get Agriculturalist, and if you get that, you also get the recipe for Seed Maker. You also get the recipe for Black Speed Grow, so you can just craft your own. You need oak resin for it, so you need a forage level 3, spring 3rd, possible. With lots and lots of money for the crops and lots of time to water them. Possible. There's one other way that you can get ancient seeds they haven't mentioned. Artifact troves. With Mouseypound's Predictor, you know when you're going to get ancient seeds out of the troves. There's an interaction with Speed Grow that I haven't mentioned yet. And it's what enables it. It's something that Raced and I realised late. He pointed out, so I did some testing to see how you do it. You can apply Speed Grow any time that it grows, that the plant grows. If you do it after the first day, you will lose some days. So if you put ancient seeds in the ground spring 9, you can apply Deluxe Speed Grow spring 10, 11, 12, I think 13, maybe 14, and it'll grow in time. So we're getting ancient seeds out of artifact troves, so we need the bus. We need the bus on the 9th. We need geodes and artifact troves to bust open to get the ancient seeds. We plant the ancient seeds on the 9th, we go back to the desert on the 11th. We buy the Deluxe Speed Grow and we apply it right away. That gets our ancient seeds growing, we put them in strategic places so they'll be gold and we harvest them on some 4. Okay, that's the ancient seeds. Quite awful. It's not the worst thing. In the seed that Habu had, he could buy a red cabbage from the cart. We had extra things we needed to do. We couldn't use that seed. No red cabbage seed, no red cabbage from the cart, no red cabbage seed from the cart. We're growing a red cabbage summer 2. We need a way to get the seeds. How else do you get the seeds? We're not playing to year 2. We're not playing to summer year 2 to buy them from here. We're not playing to winter year 2 to get them from the night market. How else do you get red cabbage seeds? That's the one other source for red cabbage seeds in the game. Pop quiz time. What are the odds? Go and get it from the cabins. Get it from a treasure floor in the cabins. A 1 out of 648 shot at getting it at the treasure floor. So you got to get the treasure floor and you got to hit that shot. That by itself is probably going to extend the completion time. So to give ourselves the best odds, we're going to manip steps, or hopefully we can manip steps for max luck on the day that we do it. We're going to have magic rock candy, and we're going to have loads of letters. We're going to have loads of money, maybe some crystallarians with some jade going. We're going to have loads of stairs, and we're just going to place ladder after ladder after ladder after ladder after ladder after ladder, and that should get us treasure floors more frequently. I wonder how many streams it's going to take to get the red cabbage seed. Definitely need a reset counter for that. I'll probably have 2-hour streams. Yes, it'll take weeks. Where am I going? I should farm off. I should outsource. Send someone the save file and say, here you go, get me a red cabbage seed. Don't cheat. I'll see you in a couple of months. Definitely watch the beginning of this one. Definitely watch the beginning. You see how I break Calico Jack. I'm not sure of the content. I've got seeded speedruns to route and do. I've got seeded marriage to improve on, seeded boiler room to improve on. Most of it is this. You can skip most of it. But the beginning of it, you're going to want to see the beginning of it. I might highlight this. I need to highlight last week's stream. I'll highlight all of last week's stream. And I'll split this stream in 2. I'll highlight both parts, but I'll split it in 2. So I'll highlight up to I'll include 1 round of this. I need to start uploading these to YouTube. A few videos I can do. quarter to midnight. That's right. Start work at 1 PM tomorrow. Probably be up early, but I'll be able to have a nap in the morning. Well, 2 hours of doing this, I've spent on my screen. Spent over 200 million QI coins. Can't believe I messed up the math and how long this would take. But I'm not doing this to 2 AM. Even if someone donates to make me keep going, I am returning the donation. Or just saying no. Nope. Fix it later. Maybe just get a whole heap more and sell for 15 GH, 5G less. I'm losing concentration. $2 PM, 5 in-game hours have been going for. Casino closes at 11. 11:50. Close at 11:50. We're doing halfway. I fail the 33 million Summer 3 challenge. I'm not going to leave my computer running. I wonder how fast it would be to macro. I'm going to make this the last one. I'm going to sleep. And I'm going to do one more round with a macro. Didn't go good. after this. Okay. Let's see how much money I got. How many did I sell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This isn't even a complete inventory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. 30 times 19, is that 570? 576. Calculator. 576 times 999. $11 million a day. You guys didn't see that. Gotta get out of here. Legend. I got legend. That was actually a good place to stop. Alright. Let's drink it now and so we can get to waiting faster. Okay. Where's my micro software? My computer might crash when I do this, so if I disappear, stream's over. I do have crashing issues with my computer. That's why I slept first. Okay, so let's add a new one. Let's go fast by. So I'm just doing macro off on the side. Okay, let's make a macro. Create new macro. Name. That's fine. Repeat while holding. Start now. Sequence while holding. It's not recording the mouse click. Action. No. Ah, got it. Up, down. Okay, let's give that a go. Yeah, look, it's 9. I might need to introduce the delay. I need to introduce a delay. I haven't actually signed it. That's faster, isn't it? So just right click. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could save myself 5 seconds of a stack. Save me 2.5 minutes each round, which overall would save me 1.5 hours